Ross is a place where we learn about other parts in the world. We learn about how things in the world are affecting the whole world, and we try to make it better.
We work as a community, and we serve each other and help each other.
The Ross School was one of the first places to really understand the implications of a digital universe, of universal connectedness, of global connectedness.
The curriculum is a complex dynamical system. You can get a more complex understanding of history and the world today.
Well, Ross, it changed me personally. I feel like I'm a part of a larger community in the world. I feel like I have a responsibility to make the world a better place.
In 1991, Courtney and Stephen J. Ross recognized the need for a curriculum that was in sync with the challenges of the 21st century. After the birth of their daughter Nicole, they decided to build a research and development institute and lab school. They founded Ross School in collaboration with international scholars and experts from diverse fields, such as neuroscience, chaos mathematics, and cultural anthropology.
You represent the purpose, meaning, and future of humanity. You are where we're going.
Because of the way the curriculum is designed, it makes it easier to be able to stay focused and go deeper.
Seeing the connections, it makes me more interested in learning.
I saw curriculum beginning to emerge. I saw buildings beginning to go up. I learned a lot from watching the school develop. It's now been 20 years, and I realized that I had the word for Courtney, that she is literally and figuratively a visionary.
And we're going to utilize every resource, connection, every strategic ally we can to harness the energy that's evolving right now for the good.
Today, climate change and sustainability have emerged as the most pressing and urgent need of our planet. Given that our species has created this looming crisis, it is our moral and ethical imperative to educate teachers and students to cope with the challenges, to reduce the threats, and to create solutions.
We need the spiral curriculum now more than we ever have because of all these problems that have arisen in our world.
The Ross Spiral curriculum centers on the narrative of cultural history, which unfolds chronologically through the grades. Each discipline is integrated with the cultural history narrative, providing a global, 21st century, systems thinking-based curriculum.
If we are studying a particular culture in a historical time period, say the Golden Age of Islam in Baghdad, we are also examining the science that was occurring at the House of Wisdom, the mathematics, the astronomy, Middle Eastern diet, wellness. We're looking at art of the time and architecture, spiritual beliefs.
This is the Ross Spiral. All the little dots are experiences that you'll have at Ross. As you move up through the spiral, you go up through your grades. Let's go down to kindergarten. Since you are in kindergarten, you are only the beginning of the spiral. Next year, you guys are going to learn about butterflies and sustainability.
Yes! Look at this system we have here. If our problem at the beginning of the year was that people came along and pulled out some milkweed, what else is affected? Who else felt like their string got really loose just now?
When the monarch butterflies lay their eggs, they lay them on milkweed, and if there's no more milkweed, the eggs will fall out. If there's no milkweed, they have no place to put their eggs. And the whole population will stop. I'm gonna plant some milkweed.
So inside here, we had hundreds of seeds.
This little dot here in the middle is the student. And then the spiral around it is the story of the earth, how it first formed, and then to present day.
We went through this intensive editorial process, and we have since migrated over to create a digital platform in-house. So I want you all to navigate to spiral.rosslearningsystems.org.
The Ross Learning System provides all of the tools necessary to adapt the Ross model and facilitate comprehensive collaboration between schools and Ross Institute.
So go ahead and navigate to your actual grade level. From this view, you're able to see your own thematic narrative, what's going on in your actual course for that particular year.
Incredible.
Let's dive into the Ross Learning System platform, navigate to a course that you are currently teaching.
Is there any way in the Ross learning system where I can see, for instance, if I'm teaching something in the media studies, how it will relate to cultural history at that grade?
If you go into each of the learning experiences, on the right-hand side of the page, you have related learning experiences so you can see what they're doing.
Also, if you go down in the document to critical Ross elements, it's going to give you a flashback, flash forward section, and it's going to show you where in the past the children have, or students have been exposed to this, and where in the future they're going to see it again.
We have added a professional development link.
You can access all the Ross scholars and mentors.
That's amazing.
Failure to connect and ease the transition of large, growing numbers of children of color, immigrant origin children, refugee origin children, to the narrative of the nation, of who are we as a nation, constitutes possibly the most important problem.
I'm looking at the Ross Learning System website. We have the grade 2 cultural history. Unit 1 is the solar system.
We are learning about the solar system and systems.
Molecules were shooting there, shooting here, everywhere. What happened? Lenny?
Gravity. And they started connecting.
And that's how it formed our galaxy.
We are looking at the 9th grade integrated project called the Renaissance Perspective Unit.
We just had a integrated project math class because 1 point perspective is used in Renaissance paintings. We actually learned the kind of geometry that they used.
School of Athens. Who's the artist? Raphael. How can you tell there's depth there in that particular painting? The arches. Who's Euclid? Father of geometry. Where's the focal point of this painting? Right in the center. A new teacher will be able to read a high-level description of the project itself. When we describe outcomes addressed, we look at how the students will be assessed on a particular project. We want them to understand what shift was happening in art during the Renaissance period and how artists were using the mathematics of ratio and proportion in order to create perspective drawings.
We believe that education is intended to be a two-school approach, a teacher's academy within a pre-collegiate school. With the rapid rate of change and transformations occurring in a highly globalized world, teachers must continually cultivate knowledge across disciplines to fully be able to prepare their students.
The teachers in this school, you're trying to do something that's never been done before. Prepare young people for biosphere consciousness. You're trying to create the possibilities of a generation who can heal the planet, restore the earth, save our species. The mission begins here in this school.
We have these brilliant speakers. So we have economists and we have neuroscientists and we have anthropologists, and it's just a great mixture and a great way to look at this model.
你好吗?
It's all about imagination and then about directing that imagination for a certain purpose. That's what creativity is all about.
The Ross School is a petri dish for expanding our notion of how to teach and how to learn.
Learning never stops. That's one of the lessons of neuroscience.
One of the strengths of Ross is that we're a research school, a school where teachers and students and researchers work together.
Ross students are endowed with essential technical and critical skills and trained to explore and create innovative solutions.
Ross Senior Project is the culmination of student learning at Ross.
I researched, designed, and built a hydrogen fuel cell system.
We expose fish to elevated CO2 levels, lowering the pH. We're seeing a 50% decrease in survival.
I decided to create 3 video and 2 audio installations to tell the story of the struggle of the Bahraini people.
I wound up applying for a State Department program called the National Security Language Initiative for Youth, and I'd be spending my summer in Cairo.
I'm from Kazakhstan. I saw a problem back home, which was that there's not enough buildings that could suffice with the population, and I thought that maybe I can create a solution, even further enrich this solution to the entire world.
What I did was 3D print a prosthetic arm and wrote a code using the electrical signals to make the arm move.
My project is a visualization of sexual assault, rape, and domestic violence frequencies. It's technology, it's media and history, it's mathematics. You really have to think about that complexity to know that that's a factor when you're looking at any phenomenon.
I'm a strong believer that cross-cultural understanding is really the only way we can ever progress towards a more peaceful world.
I was born and raised in South Africa, but we're no longer America, Sudan, South Africa, Europe, France. We are part of the world.
We want a higher level understanding of the world we live in, and that's the purpose of our education.
It's our fault that we made most of these problems happen, poverty, climate change, everything, so we need to find a way to fix it as well, to redeem ourselves.